All right, and we should be live across multiple platforms now. For those of you who may be watching this in the future, welcome and aloha to some inspirational team tarot and oracle readings late night. Late night edition is something that we're going to be starting up here over the next little bit. For those of you who are just tuning in, stick around. We're going to be getting into our first reading in the next moment. Just going to take this extra second to be able to confirm that everything is all good. And yeah, this is awesome. It's been a while since I've been able to kind of like make a routine of getting back into these, and I'm hoping to do just that. Looking to be able to broadcast more within this 1:30 a.m. time slot. And for those of you who are tuned in right now, we're gonna get into a reading right off the bat. Just warming up. I mean, a lot of this is like me getting back into a routine that I haven't been in, and just being able to return to my passion of doing some tarot and oracle readings. And yeah, I want to be able to. Let's even. I'm like, oh, do I start with the oracle? But I'm like, you know what? Probably should even just like start off with like traditional tarot, just kind of like go right back to the roots. And yeah, see what we have. So thank you again to those of you who are tuning in. Excuse me. My name is Brendan. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. The way how we're going to do this, I'm going to actually just kind of get right into a reading off the bat, just be able to get things going, get things warmed up. And then for those of you who would like to be able to receive a reading and basically add your name to the queue, there's a couple ways to be able to do this. You can join on the Patreon if you're on any platform. We're tuning live broadcasting from Twitch and for broadcasting on Twitch, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and probably a couple other places. Twitter. We're broadcasting on Twitter. So again, you guys can broadcast a couple ways. You can join on my Patreon, which is a monthly membership subscription. We're working towards our goal, and our goal currently, our next Patreon goal is 77. We're currently at 66-ish. And for those of you on TikTok, you guys can also subscribe to my TikTok as a way to be able to join on readings. And I'll be talking more about that as we kind of get more into the habit of things. So let me just take a look here into the chat, and I should be able to view most of the chat from one single window, which is very convenient. So for those of you who may be tuned in on any platform, go ahead and just let me know. I'm just going to take a moment here just to be able to share the YouTube link real quick into our community Discord. And if you guys aren't on our Discord, the link for that's also in my profile link. It's also in the info for this video. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for tuning in. So tune in live now. Inspirational late night team tarot and oracle readings. Cool. How's everybody doing tonight? Where's everybody tuned in from? On a scale of 1 to 10, how shifty are you feeling? So whatever that means to you. So, all right. Cool. Awesome. Kristen, I'm not sure if you're tuned in right now, but I was just checking my email, and I know we actually do have some people who are ready to be able to receive some readings right away. So again, I'll just kind of go over some basic instructions and just welcome everyone into the space as we get going. Going to do my best to be able to keep an eye onto the chat, and for those of you in the chats, please go ahead and leave some comments down below. Hey Tina, thank you so much for joining in, and again, for those of you on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram, yeah, hope you guys are doing well. I'll read some of the comments as we go. Huck says, hope your little man and the family are wonderful. Thank you, Hux. Much appreciated to you as well. And yeah, just taking a moment to be able to get things going. Cool. Open Casket, thank you so much for joining in as well. And yeah, let's get right into just doing a traditional tarot reading, single card tarot reading for the team. Again, I've been doing tarot readings for quite a while. I'm broadcasting right now within my time window of 1:30 till 1:30 a.m. until 3 a.m. and then I'm going back to sleep. And you guys will be able to catch me here as much as I'm able to for more future readings. So I'm gonna get right into a reading. This is again also really just practice for me, as some of the cards are actually let's get the deck sorted out first. It's been so while. Some of the cards are just faced up the wrong way and stuff like that. So let me just limber up a little bit before we dive into a proper reading here. So who here maybe is either here for the first time, or maybe you guys have seen me before. The tarot reading and the oracle readings, I've started kind of doing these probably going back to, you know, just non-live broadcasts way back in like probably like 2016, 2017, and then around 2019, 20, started doing live broadcasts, and again using them as a way to be able to build community, to build the Patreon, work towards our Patreon membership goals, and again just be able to connect with some really beautiful people and let you guys know about like upcoming events and stuff that we got going on. So all right, for those of you on TikTok, can you guys see my the subscriber button? Can you guys see that up here, working towards like 22 subscribers on TikTok? For anybody on TikTok, if you guys really want to be trendsetters, again, you guys got an option to be able to receive a reading on air simply by becoming one of my subscribers on TikTok. And that's a new thing, so if anybody wants to join on that, go ahead. But again, you can either you can either get an on-air reading by becoming a subscriber on TikTok, for those of you on TikTok. For those of you not on TikTok, you can get an on-air reading by joining on Patreon, or single donations are always welcome. Link for those are in my profile. And for those of you on YouTube, I'll post let me just post a link info into the body of the chat real quick. And yeah, let's get right into first reading. So see if that works. Okay, I'll do my best to be able to keep an eye on the chat. The way how I got things set up right now, I know the chat won't actually be able to see my comments if you're on my Facebook profile, but other than that, everybody else should be able to see it, no problem. Okay, all right, my deck's all set. Let's get right into a first reading, and then the second reading will either be for some people who have already reserved their spot for a reading, or people who want to be able to claim a spot for a reading, and you're welcome to do that. So again, if you guys are on air right now and you guys want to claim a reading coming up next, use the link in my profile if you're on TikTok and Instagram to be able to donate there or join as a subscriber. And also for those of you not on TikTok or Instagram, use the link in my info of this video to be able to join on Patreon. How's the video feed right now? Does it get kind of janky sometimes? I'm just looking and it's kind of seeming like the signal kind of gets janky. This is my first day back, so I'm going to be experimenting around with some of the tech. And if it's a little bit janky, I may end up hardwiring an Ethernet cable. So, all right, let's do this. Let's get right into a reading. Cool. Thank you guys again. Cool. All right, so for any of these readings, the way how I do them, everybody's kind of got their own style. I like to be able to do these as setting the intention, show us what we need to see. And so if you're tuned in right now, there's a message here for you. So just invite you to just be able to like open to receive. And again, with that, just kind of like enjoy the company and the vibe that we are creating here. And yeah, with any of the readings here, the readings that you guys can claim can be for you specifically, as well as for the collective, the team. So let's get right into our first reading. Just getting warmed up here. We got some awesome people tuning in. Hey, Orenda. Hey, Master. Thank you guys so much. And again, if you guys are on TikTok, go ahead and check out the instructions there. Become a TikTok subscriber for on-air reading, or join on my Patreon. Links in my profile for the Patreon. All right, okay, first reading, and then we'll like take a moment to kind of go over all the spiel and the details about how you guys can get readings. But yeah, if you have any questions, just let me know. We'll go from there. All right, first reading, and we got until 3 a.m. to do as many readings as we can. And yeah, with each reading that we do, I just invite you guys to kind of join me in a quick little meditation. Just closing my eyes, closing our eyes, inviting you to be able to join us. Just taking a second here to connect with our breath. Just arriving into this heart space, a space of gratitude. Gratitude for the team, gratitude for the community, gratitude for the messages we are here to receive. And just opening ourselves up to the intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. And then with that, just allowing ourselves to speak that intention with our heart, with our mind, with our words, with our voice. And so here we are again, my friends, to be able to see what messages will unfold through this journey that never truly ends. And so let us awaken the magic that is within our heart. Let us allow ourselves to remember how to do our part as we continue to transform this world through the magic of our art. And we have our first card. For those of you who are new, that's like, I like charge the deck and do like kind of like wizard noises and flowetry every now and then, so it's a thing. All right, the first card that we have for everyone who's tuned in right now for the collective is Cups 9. Cups 9. So what is Cups 9, you may be asking? That's a great question. Let's open it up. Oh, I basically opened it up right to the book. All right, so the way how I do my readings, again, everybody's kind of got their own style, and the way how I do mine, basically we'll just take a quick look at the literal image of the card and just kind of interpret it through there, and then from there I'm going to read from the book, and then from there I'm going to kind of channel in some additional insight and inspiration for you guys to be able to receive. And yeah, with this, for any of you who are tuning in right now, if you guys want to claim that next reading, again, for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, go ahead, become a subscriber. Did we have someone become a subscriber yet? Did that already happen? No, not yet. Become a subscriber. And for those of you on any of the other platforms, again, join on my Patreon, or single donations are also welcome as well. All right, let's get right into the 9 of Cups. This broadcast is sponsored by, unfortunately, energy drinks and tea. Whatever it takes to keep dad up at 1:30 a.m. in the morning to do readings for you guys. So all right, for those of you who are tuned in again, this message is for you. So yeah, let's take a look here at the actual image of the card. And yeah, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, we'll kind of like hold the I'm broadcasting on multiple platforms, so if it looks like I'm like kind of like looking at multiple cameras, it's because I am. So just looking at the actual image here of the 9 of Cups, literally just explaining it here, we have like these 9 cups kind of in the shape, almost kind of like a necklace, suspended here in the heavens, and we can kind of see this like beautiful mandala in the sky, and kind of like traversing over this kind of like intricate architectural landscape. And yeah, just kind of explain the literal image here, but let's get right into the reading and the interpretation. If anything I say resonates with you guys, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And let's get that first sign up. Let's get that first subscriber, and let's get that next reading queued up, and we'll just kind of continue to hang out and go from there. So if you are here, this message is for you. 9 of Cups, the image. In front of a deep sky blue, above a landscape bathed in bright colors, a group of cups encircles a mandala. Meaning, again, if anything I say resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat, and just inviting you guys to be here to receive the messages that come through. Meaning, joy of being is the expression of a positive attitude toward life, with which man brings his inner world of emotions outside. As a result of turning inward, in which he recognizes the outer world within the essence of his being, his consciousness grows in the awareness and the composition of the world in an answer to inner turmoil. As one calls in the wood, it echoes accordingly. In the certainty of deep feeling that the experience of inner connection to all life brings, the individual is then able to develop deep trust. From the inner security that is experienced on a deeper level of existence, grows the easy, carefree feeling of a childlike nature, which makes possible an innocent and carefree experience of the world of the senses. The unhindered expression of joyous feeling for life not only fills one's being with an experience of tense joy, but makes it possible for his fellow creatures to participate in it also. Again, for you guys that tuned in right now, again, you guys can just kind of close your eyes as you're listening right now, just to be able to receive the messages coming through. In experiencing the material world of form as a space of resonance for the mind, the individual consciousness recognizes itself as a part of a cosmic consciousness and becomes a conscious co-creator in the divine plan. As little as one should fall prey to the senses and become their slave, a forceful repression of feelings and their natural requirements becomes necessary. Rather, the focus is more about sensory experiences and the expression of feelings through which the soul gives outer forms their shape. The world of feeling builds the cutting edge between mind and matter, but he who recognizes the beauty in things awakens them to life. By awakening them to life, he approaches his own fulfillment. Astrological significance: Moon, Venus, Novile aspects. Keywords: feelings of wholeness, loving attachment, expression of life-affirming feelings, collective play, lightheartedness, nurturing awareness, sensuality, and artistic expression. Traditional meaning: pleasure, zest for life, social gathering, human warmth, affection, positive attitude toward life, joy of being, carefreeness. Nice. This is a really beautiful card, especially to be able to receive as like a first card in our journey back to doing tarot and oracle here. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just closing a couple windows to be able to make sure that the bandwidth is all good. Sweet, awesome. Again, for those of you on any platform, please feel free to leave your comments. Let me know where you guys are tuned in from. I'll be able to see your comments across TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube as well. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, thank you as well for tuning in. And yeah, even if there's only like a few people tuned in, this is just practice for me. I need practice. It's getting back into a routine. We're tweaking things as we go. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for joining in. Keeping an eye on our next Patreon goal. Our next Patreon goal is 77 subscribers. So if anybody wants to join on Patreon as we're doing this, it takes a couple minutes. I'll talk more about the Patreon later. And again, for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, you guys can also subscribe to be able to receive a reading on air. All right, so 9 of Cups. So this is a really beautiful card. And again, you know, with this card, obviously we're looking with the cups. That has a lot to do with the significance of water. And when we're talking with water, we're talking about emotions. We're talking about like creativity. And so like this card, with the idea that it being 9, it's kind of like this, like moving into the culmination, moving into the completion, moving into the potential. And so what is the potential of us being able to kind of like be more in tune and in touch with our emotions? That is like what this card is really being able to call out. It's really being able to call back this awareness of the benefit of being able to be a little bit more sensitive within the world around us, and to be able to kind of like see the intricate connection that we share between our things from a place of joy. Like the main themes within this is kind of like this idea of like, you know, stepping out into the world and kind of like seeing it through the eyes of a child, seeing it through the eyes of awe and wonder. And when was the last time you did that? You know, for those of you who are tuned in right now, seeing this card is like a mirror for you to be able to reflect it on. What is your zest for life like right now? Do you have much zest for life right now? Do you find yourself struggling to be able to have much zest for life right now? What can we do to be able to like bring back an excitement within our lives? What can we do to be able to kind of like bring back that sense of play within our lives? And so the main theme here within this card has a lot to do with play, the power of play, the ability to be able to level up while playing. I guarantee you, again, like with this idea that if you were to invite more play into your life, 100% it would radically transform your experience. And so how can you bring more play into your life? How can you bring more lightheartedness? How can you bring in more awareness? How can you bring in more sensuality? And through that, knowing that in the practice of play, we are literally practicing becoming like better conduits for consciousness. We become more of a stream for which consciousness can express itself through. And out of this evolves artistic expression. When we give ourselves that space to be able to just kind of like explore more of the creative sides of ourselves, and in the process of doing that, to explore the magic of this world, it becomes a way for us to be able to not only see the magic outside of us, but to become more in tune with the magic within us, and then also to develop our ability to be able to practice bringing out into the world. So again, with this is a really beautiful card. I love this card. Again, the 9 of Cups, to really be able to even if you're not there, to know and to feel and to begin to imagine, okay, what does like this version of myself look like and feel like and think like, that is living from a much more heart-centered experience, that is living from a much more heart-centered place, that is connected more with like this deep knowing that has always been within our soul. And again, this is where part of the theme here is, again, to be able to grow. This grows the easy, carefree feeling of a childlike nature. So part of this is, again, to be able to be like childlike without being childish, is kind of like something that's a one way of being able to interpret it. To be able to kind of like see the eyes through like the filters that we have cultivated over the years, and then in that process to be able to just kind of like become more intimately connected to the natural creative substance of this world, the creative substance within ourselves, and like the 9 of Cups implies, to be able to kind of like flow this like water out into the world, and in the process of doing that, again, to be able to help inspire others as well. So call to action here, in you doing what you can to be able to help like bring more of that creative energy out into the world, literally inspires others to be able to do the same. So let me just take a moment here and keep an eye on the comments and stuff like that. I don't think I see the YouTube comments all the time through this janky setup that I got here. Hey Cody. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you on YouTube, for those of you on TikTok, I'm trying out this time slot. We'll see. Hopefully, my tactic is like I'll like get more active, and then more people will join in. This is just kind of like an ad hoc kind of thing. So whoever happens to be tuned in tonight, bonus points to you, and we hope to see you around. And my plan is to be on air when I can. Have out this like 1:30 a.m. time slot, which is also 10:30 p.m. EDT. But and again, just taking a moment here to be able to wrap up on this card, and then we'll play around. Maybe I'll just do more readings. Again, what I want to be able to do is help like direct people to the Patreon, direct people to the single donations, direct people to the TikTok subscriber. But in the meantime, I'm also just getting the gears going and practicing my readings. So 9 of Cups. This card, again, seeing this card as a call to action to be able to do what you can to cultivate more zest for life within your experience of it, to be able to reconnect with the things that cultivate like this warmth, this affection, this like, oh, you know, like there's a goodness to life, there is something to life that actually just kind of like makes you smile. And maybe you haven't reconnected with that in a while. And so this is a card that's inviting you to know what that feels like, to remind you what that feels like, and to invite you to be able to make a priority of cultivating that to the best of your ability. And then out of this, again, being able to kind of continue to spread forth this positive attitude, a vibe. Like a positive attitude is something that like people can kind of like experience through other people, and then it just kind of like it becomes a part of them as well. So in us being able to see the world through the lens of play, we give others a chance and the permission to be able to play more themselves and to be able to practice, again, bringing forth more of that creative expression. And with it, the messages that are inspiring people and changing the world. Straight up, 100%. Okay, so there it is, 9 of Cups. If this resonates with you, leave a comment down below. Drop an 1111 in the chat, and inviting you to even just kind of like reflect with a quick little affirmation just to confirm. So for me, quick little affirmation, feel free to write your own affirmation. I am inviting in more awareness to the warmth that I am cultivating in my heart through a deep, intimate connection with the magic of this world and the role that I play to be able to be a conduit for it. So anyways, that's my quick little affirmation. You guys can write an affirmation, just kind of like show the cards that you were listening, paying attention. So again, the message here for this card is it's showing us as a mirror to be able to remind us of the value and the importance of being able to kind of like connect with the warmth of life that kind of like brings forth more of that playfulness, that artistic expression, and also again like community, social gathering. This is like a theme of this card. Yo, we're all just a bunch of cups. Let's all get together. Let's all create. Let's all do awesome things. And that's exactly what the community that I facilitate is all about. And again, for those of you who may be new to that, paradigmshiftcentral.com. I'll tell you guys more about it, but it's all about, it very much is like kind of like what the 9 of Cups is about. Bringing together people, practicing, expressing our creativity and celebrating it. All right, 9 of Cups. Let's move into the next reading. That's the first reading there. So for those of you who resonate with that, leave a comment down below, and we'll just take a quick little intermission, and we'll just kind of get people caught up for those of you who may be tuned in right now. So hey Maya, thank you so much for tuning in. Maya dropping an 1111 in the chat. Happy to hear that resonates with you. I mean, realistically, I'd like, unless you're like just, you know, not feeling it, and that's fine. I'm sure it's a card that a lot of us would resonate. Just like, oh, actually, you know what? I do want to bring more play into my life. Actually, you know what? Like, I do enjoy like connecting with like the zest and magic of this reality. 100%, man. If you're like in that place where like you're feeling the joy, I find that like from that place of joy, naturally, like what you want to do is like you want to create. Like that's for me. It's just like, finally I have freedom. Finally, for like a moment, I'm not like stressing out about bills. What's the first thing I want to do? I want to create. I want to create art. I want to serve community. I want to be able to like listen to my heart and pay attention to what is coming through it. So anyways, could talk about this all day, but we'll move into the next card and we'll see how it connects, because it's all one big giant mega reading, technically, kind of, if you think about it. So okay, Da, 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 da. Thank you guys so much. Let's get into this next reading, and I'm just checking to make sure everything's running smoothly across the board. For those of you who are tuned in, again, there's a couple ways for you guys to be able to support and get readings. For those of you on TikTok, you guys can become a subscriber. Join my new subscriber thing. I think it's like $8 or $9. That's one option. Or for those of you on any other platform, you are directed to the Patreon, and that's a monthly subscription. You can join on the Patreon. Links in my profile, the info for this video, and you can see here for those of you on the desktop variations. And yeah, the Patreon, it's a monthly subscription. Through the Patreon, it's really cool because it's a way where you're also getting in the process of giving. And so when you join on the Patreon, if you haven't become familiar, Patreon's like a cool platform where you can support artists that you like and you get like special rewards. And some of the special rewards that we have through our Patreon include the ability to be able to join upcoming events that Lacey and I are hosting, as well as exclusive content that Lacey and I are creating. And Lacey and I are actually, I'm going to tell you more about this later, but Lacey and I are actually in the process of like creating short stories inspired by real dreams. Like we're in the that's what we were working on today, man. It was awesome. So anyways, if you guys want to support on my Patreon, go ahead and do that. Sometimes in the future broadcast, once I kind of get more people, what we'll do is we'll kind of like chill out for a bit and we'll wait for that next sign up and then we'll get into the reading. For today, I'm just going to kind of wing it and we're going to get into more readings. And I'm just going to kind of like keep an eye on all the tech side of things and make sure everything's functioning okay. So for anybody who would like to be able to receive a reading on air and kind of like gift a reading for the collective, again, go ahead. Become a subscriber on TikTok if you're on TikTok. Join my Patreon if you're on any other platform, or single donations are always welcome as well. So if you would like to make even just a single donation of your choice, that's always welcome as well. So let's get into a reading with the Lightworker Oracle deck. And again, at this point, excuse me, this is like warm up for me too. Doing tarot, man, it's interesting. Like doing live broadcasts in general, it's like you kind of have to like practice it to get familiar with it, you know? Like it's like, ooh man, I haven't live broadcasted in a while. Damn, I'm rusty, you know? And for me, excuse me. For me, I love live broadcasting. It's something I've been growing up doing. Make sure my throat's okay before we keep going. Don't want to keep interrupting myself. All right, anyways, yeah, thank you guys again so much for tuning in. I'll keep an eye open for any new donations coming in, and again, we'll also keep an eye on the Patreon sign up. And my goal with the Patreon is to be able to continue to build the Patreon towards our ongoing Patreon milestone goals, and I'll talk to you guys more about that. But in the meantime, yeah, thank you guys so much again just for being here. I know it's kind of like a weird, peculiar time, and I know as I keep doing this, I'll more people find out about it. But if you're tuned in right now, make sure you're subscribed, following, because you're going to be seeing me. I'll be your late night tarot source, tarot and oracle source. Looking for some inspirational message? Come on by, because my plan is to be broadcasting at this weird hour, ongoing for as much as I'm able to between my part-time job and being a dad. Fuck, it's gonna be exhausting, but I'm trying it anyways. So anyways, guys, who here, just checking in, drop a 777 in the chat if you would like to be able to donate to be able to receive a reading on air. And I'm just asking so that if you're doing it in the next couple minutes, I'll keep an eye open for it. At any point, if you're just like, yeah, I'm gonna like sign up for the Patreon or donate single donation, drop a 777 first and then go do it if you want. Totally optional. And again, on the Patreon, when you guys join on the Patreon, you also get a one-off reading as well. That's also like you can get it in either on-air reading or you can get a recorded reading when you join on the Patreon at the $11 level and up. So cool. Okay, let's get right into the next reading. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. How long have you guys been following me for? Super curious to know who I'm connecting with, because it's not just tarot. It's like literally getting to know you guys. So if you guys are tuning in right now, feel free to say hi. Feel free to introduce yourself. Feel free to share a compliment for either the space or just kind of like maybe if you're like fans of my work or whatever the case may be. Okay. All right. For those of you on desktop, I think the signal is like a little bit janky. Apologize, but I'll do my best to be able to keep things going. All right. Cool. Let's get right into this and make sure beat's working. Let's gonna double check my microphone. I want to make sure that it's good. All right, okay, we're gonna get into the next reading again. This reading is for the collective. Okay, I'm just fixing my microphone on a desktop. I apologize if it was a little bit. Check. I think it was getting, the levels were getting crushed a bit. It should be a bit better. Those of you on desktop. Okay, cool. Sweet. All right, let's get into this next reading. If you are here, this reading is for you. We're going to be using the Lightworker Oracle deck. And oh yeah, when you request a reading on air, you also get to choose from one of the decks. And I'll show you guys the decks after. So stick around and yeah, allow yourself to just be open to receive whatever wisdom is coming through. This is Inspirational Team Tarot and Oracle Readings. My name is Brendan. Thank you guys so much for joining in. Hey, Cassidy, thank you for joining in. I'm glad you guys were able to make it. Welcome to the YouTube crew. You guys are like the OG crew, man. I'm broadcasting on like a million different platforms right now. All right, reading with the Lightworker Oracle deck. Again, I'll be on only till 3 a.m. So for anybody who wants to claim a next reading, either single donations, join on the Patreon, or if you're on TikTok, become a TikTok subscriber. And any of those will give you a reading on air. Cool. Good to see you as well, Cassidy. Thank you for the warm welcome. Let's get right into this reading. Again, this is just practice for me. And good times for all of us. Here we go. Next reading coming up. Invite you guys to join me in a quick little micro meditation if you wish. Inviting all of us to be able to just kind of like focus our intention towards what it is that we are here to see. So show us what we need to see. So just arriving into our heart space. Nice big sigh if you need it. Another one of those. And just gratitude for this space, for this community, for the messages that we are here to receive. And just saying that intention, show us what we need to see. We being the individual, we being the collective, we being the team. Speak that intention with our heart, speak with our mind, speak with our words, speak with our voice. Feel free to type your wizard noises into the chat. That's a fun thing that we do. Wizard noises. Breathe. Breathe into this space for us to feel. Breathe into this moment that is real. For us to be able to open the doorways to new sight. For us to be able to see and activate the inner light. Alright. The card that we have pulled. Ooh, I like this one. The card that we have pulled for the collective, for anybody who happens to be tuned in right now, is this is a good one. Card number 33, Master Healing. Just going to show that to the individual cameras here. Card number 33, Master Healing. So again, the way how I work with this, for those of you who may be new, everybody's kind of got their own style. We're going to look at the image of the card specifically. Then from there, I'm going to kind of like use my wizard voice to read from the book. And then from there, what I do is I add some like additional channeled interpretation and inspiration from the message of the card from spirit for you. So just take a look at this card. And again, if you guys would like to be able to receive the next on-air reading, join in for the queue. If you're on TikTok, become a subscriber. If you're on any other platform, join on Patreon or single donations, links in the info for this video. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. All right, let's take a look at this image. I'm showing it just TikTok and Instagram real quick here. Then I'll show it to the other cameras so everyone can see it. Beautiful, beautiful image here, kind of like this like higher dimensional master wizard who doesn't even have like, I guess they do have a body. So they have like a physical body, but they're like enchanting some sort. They got some sort of like magical light sphere in front of them. Again, I'm just explaining it literally. Their hair is turned into galaxies and planets apparently. They're like hair is like friggin' blowing itself out into another dimension there, and they're looking through like this book of ancient wisdom, and they're again kind of symbolically it's like tapping into the inner wisdom that connects us to the understandings of higher dimensional space and our connection to the planets and etc etc. When you guys see this card, what do you feel? When you guys see this card, what do you feel? Like what type of energies come through for you when you guys just look at this card? Again, I'm just kind of trying to show it to all the 10 million cameras here. There's 3 cameras here. So I think next time I do this, for those of you on TikTok, on a scale of 1 to 10, how laggy is the video? 10 being very laggy, 1 being not laggy. Just curious, because I think next time I'm gonna have to use a hardwired Ethernet cable, which I can do. All right, let's read from the book. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, if you guys would like to be able to claim our on-air reading, help us reach our next Patreon milestone goal. Working towards our next milestone goal of 77. Thank you guys so much for all the Patreon supporters. Thank you to all the donators. And yeah, let's dive right into this next reading. Here we go. Excuse me. Kay says, something new and great is what they feel and birth. Yeah, very, very much so. Great description. Thank you, Kay. All right. Here we go. Reading from the book. Allow yourself to just kind of open your heart. Receive, if you're here, this message is for you. Card number 33. Master Healing. As you meditate, remain true to what inspires your heart and commit to your spiritual path. You become an increasingly powerful healer. You are here to live your own life and be true to what genuinely moves you. The unconditionality, loving guide, and ascended master Serapis Bey comes to you now with a blessing of master healing to further your success on your path. The Master Serapis Bey is a beloved guide for those who feel a strong soul connection to ancient Egypt, for healers who are developing their own modalities, and those who love to work with high-frequency concepts. He also assists in the translation of spiritual inspiration into practical worldly plans. He comes to confirm that the Ascended Masters are aware of you. You are an integral part of a powerful spiritual team that has taken physical incarnation to help awaken consciousness into love. You are asked to tune into your heart. What do you love enough to overcome? What do you love enough to overcome any obstacle to attain it? What motivates and inspires you? It's interesting because, again, like, this card relates back to the previous card. What motivates and inspires you? Now, what seems possible or practical, but what is authentic? We, excuse me, we are most powerful when we serve authentically from the heart. A bird might learn how to dive underwater from time to time, but it is never going to be at its most powerful if it has to live underwater. It would struggle to thrive if it were to force itself into such an unnatural expression of its life energy. The bird yearns to fly because that is its divine nature and purpose. You too have a divine nature and purpose, and your heart holds the clue. I'm going to reread that part. You too have a divine nature and purpose, and your heart holds the clue. What feels most like you? It is difficult to access the truth of our own being when we believe we should live up to the expectations of others. If we are attached to an outcome or afraid of an answer, we can unconditionally block our perceptive faculties. A spiritual vision of sticking our fingers in our ears and shouting blah blah blah. The blessing of Serapis Bey includes his clear flame and divine cleansing light. This can assist us in letting go of whatever blocks us from knowing the truth of our nature. When we are willing to be who we are. Again, if anything I say resonates with you, just drop an 1111 in the chat for those of you who are tuning in. And thank you guys. Hope the universe is serving you well. And much love from me to you. When we are willing to be who we are, the universe can more easily guide us to fulfill our destinies. Serapis Bey will help you see yourself truthfully. You may gain feedback from others that helps you understand the value of what you share. Or you may simply find it easier to view yourself objectively, with a compassionate, appreciative, and discerning inner eye. As you learn and accept who you are, you become a more powerful vibration of masters to put to use in the plan of love. If you have a dream in your heart, know that it has been placed there for divine purpose. That right there. Like, if we could just kind of like take a moment to like really breathe in that truth. If you have a dream in your heart, know that it has been placed there for divine purpose. That's powerful. Could talk more about that. What you dream and desire contains the seed of divinity. It is meant to help attract your life mission and fulfill it with love, joy, creativity, and pleasure. If we are willing if we are willing to go through what is necessary for an outcome, it will happen for us. The details may appear different from what we imagined they would be, but the truth remains. If you ask for something and are willing to go through the process required to have that come to life, it will happen for you. The universe is that generous, unconditionally supportive, and loving of you. It is your creative partner. It will provide you with all you need to manifest your dreams, desires, and destiny. Wow, that's a really, really beautiful card. Ascendant Ancient. What type of material is used on top of your pendant? If you're asking like the solid part here, that would be polymer clay. And then it's like quartz. This one, the battery on it, I'll need to replace it, but normally it kind of like lights up a little bit more. And yeah, it's got magic on the inside. So okay, this is a beautiful card. So let's get right into this. Let's continue just kind of some channeled inspirational messages coming through from you guys. And again, for those of you who are tuned in, and if you're interested in the crystal, the pendant, that is available through my item shop. Links in the info for this video. So that's one way you guys can help support. So as we're doing this, I'm going to do some additional channel inspiration as we ride the wave of this message. If you guys would like to be able to claim an on-air reading next, again, a couple ways to do that. Donate through single donations, join on the Patreon, and yeah, let us know if you would like to be able to set that up, and we'll do that for you and we'll get things going. And in the meantime, just going to dive into this next reading, and then we'll do a little bit of an intermission. So number 33, Master Healing. What is the message that is coming through for us here? This is an incredibly beautiful card, definitely in theme with the previous card that we had, the Nine of Cups, which again was a lot to do with kind of the practicality of being able to live more from a place of like emotional connection and joy to be able to bring the creativity into this world. And so with this card, it really allows us to be able to kind of like take a moment to reflect on what is our relationship like with the dreams that we carry, with the idea that we have come here with a purpose, that we have come here as part of like and again, I love the idea behind this. The story of this is just like we have literally come here to incarnate on this planet at this time to help shift consciousness, to be able to bring forth the dreams that are in our heart for a reason. So with this card, like the concept of master healing is that through us being able to be more of our authentic selves, we naturally begin to want to bring more of our gifts into this world. And in the process of bringing our gifts into this world, that is the process of becoming master healers. Because this world is sick. This world is suffering. This world has an illness. This world has an absence. And it has an absence of dreamers. It has an absence of creativity. It has an absence of visionary. It has an absence of love, relatively speaking. The absence is like more of like an illusion than an actual absence. But again, what we are called to do is to be the master healers. And how do we do that? As you learn to accept who you are, you become a more powerful vibration for masters to put to use in plan of love. If you have a dream in your heart, know that it has been placed there for a divine purpose. So again, like with this, it's just like, well, what does it mean to be a master? To be a master is to be a student. To be a student is to become. And so when we understand that, like the journey of being a master is to understand that we're in the perpetual journey of becoming, it allows us to really just be able to focus less on kind of like the expectation of a specific outcome and more on the consistent state of being. To practice aligning more with this deep knowing, this deep intention, this intention of doing our best to be able to live in our heart space. And when we're not in our heart space, doing our best to be able to kind of like find our way back to it. Because from the heart space, that's where we can like really intentionally, it's where we can bring a little bit more intention into our creative process. And so again, part of the idea of like being a master healer, and again, if anything I say is resonating with you guys, just drop an 11. I'm just like working with spirit, and it's just like say these words, do the like this is spirit kind of like coming through. It's energy moving through. And so again, the idea that as creators, as master healers, it has a lot to do with what it means to be a creator. And so with this card's also again a little bit of a call to action where it's like, yeah, you have this energy of being a master healer. You have this energy of like ancient wisdom kind of like inside of you. But with it, it is also again kind of like dependent on your will to be able to move that energy and to be able to like work with the universe as a creative partner. So to be able to kind of like work with like this idea that, you know, like as you continue to work towards your dreams, the universe is working towards meeting you halfway. Again, you know, like what you conspire to, what there's a quote where it's just like, it's like what you're conspiring for is like conspiring for you, sort of thing. I think it's like it's more of a like specific Rumi quote. But yeah, it's like what you are longing for is longing for you. What is meant for you will find you, sort of thing. So again, with this card, the idea of being a master healer, of being a carrier of your specific like gifts and frequencies and dreams that are in your heart, it's a lot to do with, again, just kind of like, and this is stuff we can probably end up getting more into other cards, but again, it's also being able to kind of like remove the things that are in our way, remove the things that are kind of like between ourselves and our heart, to clear the dust off the lens of our heart. And this is, again, you know, a lot of the greatest teachers, people like Ram Dass and Alan Watts and Buddha and Thich Nhat Hanh and all of these great teachers of our time, you know, they speak of this idea of like compassion being such a powerful thing. And it's because when we are in a place of compassion, we are in a place of non-judgment, but we're also in a place of listening, of receptiveness. You may simply find it easier to view yourself objectively with a compassionate, appreciative, and discerning inner eye. As you learn to accept who you are, you become a more powerful vibration for masters to put to use in plan of love. So it's like, as a master healer, part of our journey is also, again, becoming the conduit for consciousness. And how are you becoming more of like an attuned conduit, more of like an attuned messenger, more of an attuned ambassador. You literally are an ambassador for like the realms above us, the realms within us, the thoughts and imagination, the places which dreams are made of. You are the physical bridge that brings that into this world. And again, like through that, it's bringing forth the visions. And so this is a card where it's, you know, being a master healer, it's not just like getting out there and doing Reiki on people, running down the street and be like, hey, you guys need any Reiki? You guys want some Reiki? I got some Reiki here. Free Reiki. Pew, 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 pew. Sending out Reiki. I mean, it's part of it. You know, it's kind of like getting out there and doing free hugs and stuff like that, if you guys want to do that as well. But again, you know, it's more than that. It's a kind of like a gradual process where it's like, one of the best ways that I can heal the world is again, by becoming more aware of who I am, by removing the things between myself and my heart. And then in the process of doing that, that's where, you know, some really beautiful things begin to take place, and you begin to tune yourself to kind of like a little bit more of the clarity of like, well, what is needed, you know, like the healing process is a process of understanding like what is needed, what is being asked, what can we bring into the collective. And a lot of times the message is, again, you know, like it's what does the collective need right now? Like the collective needs like a better story. It needs a story that will help people see themselves as their own hero. And I think that in itself is like kind of like the journey of the master healer, is to be able to help people see the master healers within themselves, the master shifters, the master wizards. So cool. Hey guys, thank you again so much for joining in. For those of you who are here, if anything that I said resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat. I'm just going to take a second here to be able to drink some delicious tea. And we'll wrap up on this card, and then we'll take an intermission, and then we'll just kind of hold space and move into another reading momentarily once we have someone ready, either through single donation or Patreon sign up. And thank you guys again so much. And yeah, let's just finish up on this card. So there's a little bit of an invocation here. I'll read this, and this is kind of like an affirmation. You can imagine yourself saying this. I call upon loving Master Serapis Bey and his master healing through the clear flame of truth and grace. I ask to know in the perfect time, in the perfect way, according to divine wisdom, the truth in all matters and importance to me and my divine journey now, including, here you may ask your particular questions. I ask to be lovingly shown my true nature, my deepest desires, and my most inspired dreams. Please help me know myself so that I know how to best live my divine destiny. May all beings on the path of self-knowledge be assisted and supported with unconditional love. Through my own free will and divine grace will be it. So again, with this card, just summarizing it, this card is really just inviting us to be able to bring more focus and attention towards the journey of knowing ourselves, and then in the process of doing that, being able to just kind of reflect on like, well, what is our divine dream, what is our divine destiny? And we realize that for many of us it is to be healers, but we are healers in many subtle ways. We are healers as artists, we are healers as facilitators, we are healers as family members. So who are you? Who are you now? Who are you becoming? Who do you want to be? Who do you not want to be? And in the process of doing that, what is being asked of you through your heart? What do you want to bring into this world? And just listen to that, you know, just one step at a time. So cool. All right, let's finish it up there. Master Healer. Dropping 1111. If this card resonates with you, thank you guys for tuning in. Again, this is just kind of like warm up day for me, getting back on the ice and getting all warmed up with my oracle and tarot readings and everything like that. And let's do a quick little affirmation on how this card resonates with us, so you guys can kind of type out an affirmation, or just think it in your head. So it'd be something along the lines of like, I am, or something. For myself, I am continuing to bring more conscious awareness to knowing myself, and in the process of doing so, becoming more clear on how to be able to bring more healing energy into this world through creative expression and action. So number 33, Master Healers. That's us, man. That's us. We're the Master Healers. Say it loud and clear. We are, and we are becoming Master Healers. So cool. If this resonates with you, drop those 1111s in the chat. Let's take a moment here just to be able to read some of the comments, relax, and yeah, enjoy each other's company. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Just gonna check some of the numbers across the board. It's kind of, like I said, it's kind of like a weird nighttime broadcast that I'm doing here, but I'm playing around with it, hoping to be able to build momentum as we go, and reach more of the various time slots across the world. So but yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are here right now, go ahead and leave a comment, and I'll just take a moment here just to be able to check across the different apps and stuff. And yeah, with this, we'll hold off for a little bit of an intermission, and if anybody would like to be able to claim an on-air reading next, you're more than welcome to. And for those of you who I also have talked to you before about doing a reading for you, if you're on air right now, let me know, and yeah, we can set that up for you. There's a couple people who I like, who have already like donated ahead of time, who I have like readings that I owe. And yeah, again, you can sign up for a reading a couple ways. You can single donation, you can join on our Patreon and help us reach our next Patreon goal. And again, if you're on TikTok, you can become a TikTok subscriber, which is a new thing. So cool. Thank you, Kay. Thank you for tuning in and listening to that. I'm glad you guys are able to enjoy. And again, when you guys join on the Patreon, you guys are getting access to the upcoming events that Lacey and I are hosting, dream discussion circles, and more, plus exclusive content, including the exclusive content of the new short stories that we're working on, short stories inspired by real dreams, which I'm really excited about, and we're working on one now, and that's going to be available for our Patreon supporters once it is ready for publish. And you can find the Patreon link in the info for this video. I'll post it into the YouTube chat for those of you who want to be able to get that link real quick. And yeah, again, for those of you on my TikTok or Instagram, you guys can join on my Patreon through my profile link. Perfect. And yeah, thank you again to our Patreon supporters. We're currently at about 66 Patreon supporters, working our way back up to some milestones, and our next milestone is 77 Patreon supporters. So if you guys are fans of my work and you guys want to connect with a community of spiritual seekers and conscious creators, definitely check out the Patreon. And there's multiple tiers of the Patreon. You guys can also sign up with the Patreon at the $33 levels and claim some Light Guardian crystals. So we'll just kind of hang out here for a minute. Sifu, yo, what's up, dude? Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna see if I can get in like one more reading before it's my bedtime. My bedtime is 3 a.m. So like the way how I'm doing this, I'm getting back into the habit of doing some on-air broadcasts. This time works for me in some weird way, but it's like my first like official time back in this time slot. 1:30 a.m. EDT to 3 a.m. EDT for me. And again, that's because like the baby's asleep, Lacey's asleep right now, and it gives me a chance to just kind of like practice here and reach more people. And again, we're going to be building the Patreon. We're going to be letting you guys know about upcoming events, and yeah, we're just going to be having a good time here. So we'll give it an extra moment. If anybody would like to be able to again contribute through a donation or join on the Patreon in the next couple minutes, go ahead, we'll do that, and you guys can claim a spot for a reading on air, and we'll do a reading for you and the collective. And even if honestly it's our first time back, even if there's like nobody donating right away, I'm still going to do at least one more reading before we wrap it up at 3 a.m. and then we'll be back here once again. And again, you guys can always book single readings with me as well. And again, when you join on my Patreon, you can receive a recorded reading when you sign up on my Patreon as well. So cosmic hours and astrology knowledge 1 to 3, right? That's what I figured, right? Like it's like, what better time to do tarot than at 3 a.m. in the morning, right? 2 a.m. in the morning. So it makes sense for me. It just seems logical. So see if he knows. Again, if you guys haven't already yet, feel free to check out my item shop. We got some of the light guardian crystals there, and you guys are more than happy to be able to check those out and order those as well. And I'll always put in some extra shift buttons for you guys. And again, if you guys are Patreon members, you guys get 25% or more depending on your Patreon level as well. So again, the way how we're doing this, single donations are welcome. If you guys prefer single donations, that's totally cool. Sifu, did you wanna Sifu saying I will donate, stand by on PayPal. Thank you, Sifu, super appreciated. And Sifu, man, like anytime you need a reading, you just let me know. Sifu's been one of our good buddies here in Paradigm Shift Central. Got a lot of awesome creators, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of awesome events coming up through Paradigm Shift Central right now. So for those of you who are sticking around, again, joining on my Patreon will give you access to some of the events. Joining on my Patreon at the $33 level will give you access to the events for myself and other creators. And yeah, also lots of stuff. Honestly, though, the thing that I'm most excited about on the Patreon, when you guys join on the Patreon, right now, like I'm excited about all of it, but right now, just because I'm working on it, is the new dream stories that Lacey and I have been working on. So again, they're short stories inspired by real dreams. Is the best way I can explain it, and Lacey and I are on it together. And thank you again so much, those of you, for all your kindness and all your forums. Okay, I was missing some of the chats here, just making sure I'm not missing too much of the messages. Hey, Michaela, thank you so much for joining in. Again, we do the readings in a way where it's like basically like readings for anybody are always for the collective, and then when people donate and join on the Patreon, again, it's kind of like tailored for them, but also for the collective as well, so which is a pretty cool way of doing it. So cool. Let's see if I can pin that post. 1 second here. We're gonna get jumping into another reading. Sifu actually just sent in a very kind donation, and Sifu, thank you as always, brother. And yeah, let's get right into this next reading. And the reason why I'm gonna rush it is because I'm doing my best. I'm trying to be a good dad and stick to my schedule at 3 a.m. of going to sleep. That's my plan, to like do a reading at 3 a.m. Like go up to do this broadcast till 3 a.m. and then go to sleep, because I work 6 days in a row coming up. They needed me for some extra shifts, so I'm working like 6 days in a row coming up. Oh my god. And I'm hoping to still be doing these broadcasts in the evening. Cool. Michaela, no problem. Thank you so much for joining in. And for those of you who are new, yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, just go ahead and let us know. Sifu, keeping an eye open for your comments in the chat. Sifu, thank you, brother. So much love to you, man. You have been such a wonderful, kind friend over the years. And yeah, I'm excited to be able to also get into doing some future events with Sifu as well. Sifu will definitely, I know both of us are going through some transitions right now, and I'd love to be able to talk more about that as well. Okay, let's get into this next reading. Sifu, what do you say, Sifu? How about reading from the Hero's Journey deck? The Hero's Journey is definitely a theme that I've been really feeling called into, and Sifu, if you're cool with that, I'd love to just be able to jump right into that reading. And then again, I'm gonna be done here at 3 a.m. So for anybody who would like to be able to receive a reading after this, you guys are still welcome to donate. I can always do a recorded reading for you that I can send to you. So if you do send any single donations for a reading, it kind of be like pay what you wish kind of. I'm okay with that. And I'll do like kind of like recordings within reasons and stuff. So, and yeah, if you guys want to do a single reading, you guys can do that through the PayPal, but you can also check out the Patreon. And if you guys are want to doing the monthly subscription, go ahead. And like I said, you'll get access to Lacey and I's secret dream journal. Secret dream. It's our short stories inspired by real dreams. I like the way that sounds. All right. Sifu, if you're ready for it, I'm going to get right into this next reading. And again, the only reason I'm just kind of rushing it is because I want to be able to make sure I'm finishing up by 3 a.m. Let's do it. All right, Sifu's on board. Cool. Thank you again to those of you who are tuning in. Go ahead and check my profile link at a later time. You guys can join my Patreon there. This is our last reading for today, but again, I'm always available for readings outside of this time slot. And make sure you're subscribed and join me again here at 1:30 a.m. to 3 a.m. is my current tarot time slot to the best of my ability. So we'll see if I'm here tomorrow night. I don't know. We'll see. I'm working an 8-hour shift. Okay. Quick moment of meditation here. This reading is for Sifu. This reading is for everyone. Sifu inviting you to be able to open your heart to receive. For everyone here, just being in this space of gratitude. Take a moment to breathe. Slow down. Ready to receive. As we breathe here, gratitude for this space, this community, the messages we are here to receive. Setting that intention, show us what we need to see. Speaking it with our heart, speaking with our minds, speaking with our words. And then from here, inviting you guys to just be able to like add a little bit of like wizard noises if you wish. Continue to breathe here. When you're ready, you guys can open your eyes. I'm just going to do a little bit of wizard kind of like charging of the deck. And as we find our way up the hill, may we remember that the true skill is being able to take patience as we take one step at a time, because the destiny is already ahead of us. And when we realize, we will find that you have already arrived here within your heart, because that is the place from which your journey starts. And the card that we have pulled for Sifu, for everybody here, is... Oh, beautiful. This is I like this card. The card that we have pulled is, and I'm going to show this to the desktop camera first. For those of you on TikTok or Instagram, if you guys go to my YouTube, you can watch me there as well. The card is, how much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. Card number 39. Let's get right into this, keeping an eye on my time. Gotta finish up before 3 a.m. bedtime. All right. Okay, so looking at this card visually here, for those of you on TikTok or Instagram, when you guys see this card, what do you see? What do you feel? What's going on? Like, this card's got like, this whole deck's got like very beautiful, kind of like very kind of like surrealist imagery here. But you can see here for Sifu, for those of you on the webcam, it's almost again kind of like, it's just like a woman, more of an androgynous figure, kind of like dancing through the waves of energy and emotion. Not too much to kind of like interpret on that literally, but just a beautiful image. Again, kind of looks like a person kind of like dancing across the waves. Anyways, master of emotions, says K. Very well said. Yeah, again, like anytime you see the waves, it's like the emotions, right? Usually. All right. Sifu, I'll talk to you more, man. Me and Craig are working on an upcoming event all about like the hero's journey and like dream work and stuff. I think if you're able to help us join in with it, Sifu, I'll talk to you later about it. But for everybody else, that event's coming up in probably October. So, okay. I'm going to read the message here. For anybody who's tuned in, this message is for you. Thank you guys so much for being here. Last call, and anybody who'd like to be able to receive a reading after this, and you guys can keep me up past my bedtime. Links in my profile for single donations. Join the Patreon. For those of you on TikTok, you guys can become a subscriber. All right. Card number 39. If you're here, this message is for you. How good How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. If anything I say resonates, drop an 1111 in the chat. How much good can you handle? How much love can you take? How much good can you endure before your fortress breaks? That's a quote by Kelly Walden. Message. When blessings come in, stop holding your breath, awaiting the other shoe to drop. You no longer need to feel that you're begging gifts from the universe. May your prayer not be for more, but that you have the eyes to see what you've already wanted is what you've always had. Perhaps you thought it was cute to be coy and self-effacing when given a compliment, or an acknowledgement, or appreciation. It is time to open your heart, breathe deeply, and receive blessings, knowing it is not just about for you. With every gift you receive, you give back to life. It is an energy exchange, a perpetual spiral of appreciation that leads to more to appreciate. This spiral circulates upwards, escalating you into higher realms of consciousness. Instead of questioning what you did not receive, instead of questioning what you did to receive all this goodness, pray to become more aware of and receptive to the blessings in your life. Sifu, Sifu says, tell your mom I said hi. I will, Sifu. She's like your #1 fan. Dream symbol, gift. Dreams of a gift are an affirmation that you are on the right track. Consider what the gift is and what it symbolizes in your waking life. Giving you the gift denotes a desire to have your gifts, aka talents, appreciated. If you are the recipient of the gift, the dream might be limitless tests for your current level of receptiveness in light of the blessings the universe has in store for you. Mantra: I am present as I open my heart graciously to blessings laying at my feet. All right, let's get right into this card. Again, this is our last reading for tonight, unless anybody else wants to claim a spot for a reading. Links in my profile, single donations, join my Patreon, subscribe on TikTok if you're on TikTok. All right, let's channel in some additional inspiration here. Beautiful, beautiful message here. Again, a lot of the stuff that we were talking before has a lot to do with these similar themes of just being able to kind of like be more receptive, be more in tune, be more aware, be more in our heart space. So with this card, it's really, again, serving as a mirror for us to be able to reflect back this idea that, you know, like, what is our relationship like with receiving? What is our relationship like with being able to appreciate, to be able to acknowledge the gifts that we already have, to be able to acknowledge the love that is already being sent our way? And this is very interesting because I'm sure a lot of people can relate to this, and you guys drop an 1111 if it does resonate with you, where sometimes, you know, like life can be very busy, very overwhelming. And when we're in those states where we're stressed and we have anxiety and we're kind of like worrying about things, it can be very hard for us to be able to even just kind of like receive the slightest compliment. Just be like, like your compliment's not going to solve my problems. Take it back. I don't want it. Yada, yada, yada sort of thing. But with this message here, it's being able to kind of like remind us that in order to be able to kind of receive more, it's important for us to be able to come more conscious of the conversation that is taking place between that which we are already receiving. And what are you doing to be able to kind of like cultivate a deeper relationship? And again, sometimes like this is as much as it is just being able to kind of like sit there and wait for a compliment, but at the same time, it's also perhaps like going out of our way to be able to practice the act of giving, to practice the art of giving. Do not wait for like the universe to suddenly come and just drop all the solutions within your lap. Like cultivate a place of being able to kind of like still be able to find appreciation, even in the challenges, which is a huge degree of self-conscious awareness that you can choose to embrace. That is like something that's really interesting, where it's like, you know, how much good can you handle is also the question of how capable are you of being able to see the yin and the yang within any circumstance. You know, in that case, as much as you may be going through a period where it's just like you are being challenged, this is going to test you, this is going to shift things, this is going to move you into a new chapter of your life. In those moments, you know, you can be like, okay, like once I reach this point, that's when I get the gifts. That's when I get the rewards. That's when I get like the satisfaction. But at the same time, you know, you have this option to be able to say, well, what if the journey there is actually the gift? What if the strength that I learn along the way is actually the lesson? And so again, like with this card, the concept of it, how much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. It's kind of this idea where it's like you almost imagine the universe is kind of like this like trickster creature, and it's like, haha, like you want to grow, like here's an obstacle, like have an obstacle, have a challenge, have something unexpected before you reach your final destination. Here's a curveball, here's like one more like thing for you to trip over along the way. But again, like in the process of doing that, you know, even in those moments, can you be able to say like, thank you, thank you for teaching me, thank you for testing me, thank you for showing me what I am capable of, thank you for allowing me to see how flexible I am, thank you for allowing me to be able to have like radical non-worriness, like radical gratitude, you know, like in it's always that a lot of it is like always going to be so relative, like, you know, and not to say that like your problems and your challenges are not important, because it's all very relative to you, it's all very relative to your experience. But again, at the same time, within this experience, there is goodness in every moment, and that goodness may not be something that you fully understand when you're in that moment. You know, like when you're in that moment, it's just like, well, this isn't good, this actually feels really shitty, this is not fun, this is a hard spot for me to be in. And that's okay, because something can be bad and good at the same time, something can be shitty yet transformational at the same time. And if we can kind of, again, just kind of like open our heart to whatever gifts are in our moment right now, and to really breathe deeply, and to really be able to ask ourselves, like, how am I receiving what is being given to me right now? When I ask that, excuse me, how can I drink tea properly without dying? That's the real question. So, but that's a question, you know, for each of us. Holding this up as a mirror. How can we be more receptive of the gifts that we are receiving right now? And do not tell me that you are not receiving any gifts. Like that's complete bullshit. As much as you choose to be, this next breath that you take is a gift. Take a moment here, everybody here, just take a moment here. Shut up. Just take a moment here. Put your hand on your heart if you're able to. If you're not driving, not if you're driving. Just take a moment to breathe here. And acknowledge and just have this conversation in your head. Be like, this next breath that I'm taking, it is a gift. Imagine if you were just like, oh, just one more breath, and then it came to you. That's the breath. And then you got more after it. Take a breath here. Nice soft exhales. And as you exhale, just kind of like say in that moment, just be like, thank you. Even if you don't even know like why you're saying thank you, just try it. Just say thank you. Thank you for this breath. And then from there, that thank you expands. That thank you becomes a little bit more. That thank you kind of like moves into a new realm. Oh, thank you for this breath. Ah, thank you for the fact that there's like a fucking sky that I can look at. It's a great example. But, you know, like literally, you know, like this is an idea that goes back to actually the previous cards that we were having. Yo, John, good to see you, dude. John, if you were here early, I 100% I would have just been able to jump in for a reading for you, but I'm trying to stick to my schedule of going to sleep at 3 a.m. Unless there's like any like super new donations that like I'll hold space for like last minute, any sort of donation that wants to like be able to like come in for single readings or the Patreon signups for that. Yes, I can kind of like stick around for a little bit longer, but other than that, this will be the last reading. But what I was saying, just finishing up on this card. And John, we'll make sure even I'm gonna plan to be up here. My time slot is 1:30 a.m. to 3 a.m. EDT. It's kind of my new time slot. So now you know, and hopefully next time I'm online, you can jump on a little bit earlier, and we'll get you all set up with that. But anyways, so with this card here, how much can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. This is a very, very beautiful card that, again, really reminds us to be able to practice bringing more conscious awareness into the heart space. Because when we have gunk and dirt and mud covering the lens of our heart, it makes it really fucking hard to receive gifts. And if you're finding yourself in a place where you're just like, fuck this world, fuck this shit, fuck everything, fuck you, fuck me, you know, fuck the universe, fuck God, all of it, that's fair. Feel that 100%, absolutely feel that. But at the same time, also make space within that to kind of like start to chisel a little bit away at whatever dirt is kind of holding the light back within your heart, and not even just holding it back, but kind of like preventing kind of like spaces of gratitude from being able to enter in, and just slowly just kind of like begin to dust that away very gently, where it's just like, you know what, just for today, even if I'm faking it, I'm gonna be grateful. Just for today, I'm just gonna kind of like pretend that I'm not incredibly pissed off at the world, or maybe I'm gonna keep that there. I don't even have to pretend that I'm not pissed off. Maybe I am still pissed off at the world, but I can still be grateful. You can be more than one thing at once. And the more that you realize that you can become more things at once, the moment you can stop waiting until everything is fucking perfect for you to start appreciating things. That's okay. You can appreciate things and be pissed off about things. You can be happy and you can be sad at the same time. But I guarantee you, if right now that kind of like balance is just like, actually, you know what? I haven't consciously tried being grateful in a while. I've been so busy being pissed off that I consciously haven't tried being grateful in a while. This is the invitation to be able to practice bringing more gratitude into your life. And maybe you already do that. And if you do that, keep doing that. The more the better. It's a fucking hack. It's like a cheat code. The more gratitude that you can hold for your journey, whatever the fuck it looks like, the more the universe kind of like sees that, and it's just like, like the messages are unfolding. And I'm not going to say it's like, oh, the more grateful you are, instantly that's going to solve every single problem. Not necessarily. But it will change your relationship to those problems. And then how you see them, how you feel about them, how you feel about yourself. So again, with this card, I am present as I open my heart graciously to graciously behold the blessings laying at my feet. What blessings are at your feet right now that perhaps you're overlooking? 100%. There's some. We're not always 100% conscious aware all the time. There are literally blessings at your feet right now that you are overlooking. And for everybody here, just take a moment to just be able to be like, oh, you know what? Like this game, I've been like asleep within the dream. And so this is a little card that's just kind of inviting us to just be able to say like, oh, you know what? One of the ways to awaken within the dream is actually to awaken through the gratitude, to awaken through the heart, to awaken through appreciation, to be able to kind of like ask that question, how much good can you handle? You let in a little bit, oh, I can carry this. I can carry a compliment. Things aren't too bad right now. I got air in my lungs. I got water in my fridge. I got food in, you know, in the spaces where I need food and stuff like that. Ideally, fridges and cupboards, I guess. I don't know where else you keep food. Anyways. But it's not just that. It's not just like the material. I have people. I have connections. I have community. And if you don't have community, find community. If you're looking for community, stick around. I facilitate community. If you're like genuinely looking for like community and stuff like that, that's a big part of what I do. And through these tarot readings, it's not just the tarot readings. It's actually an invitation for you guys to be a part of a bigger journey, to be a part of the community events that we facilitate, to be a part of our team of conscious media creators, to be a part of this community of spiritual seekers. And if you're finding that it's hard to be able to kind of like maintain this consistency of living this upward spiral of grace and living from this deeper place of gratitude, one of the best ways to do that is to be able to practice by surrounding yourself with other people who are also practicing this. And that will change your life. If you are you become who you surround yourself with. If you're surrounded by people who are pessimists and naysayers, that is what you will become as well. But if you surround yourself with people who seek and look and live the magic of life and live more from a place of conscious intention within their heart and gratitude, then you will also become that as well. So this is a beautiful card. And for Sifu and for everybody here, thank you again so much for holding space. May you continue to receive the blessings and the gifts that this universe has for you, and to be able to hold them graciously and to be able to say, aha, thank you, and I am ready to receive more. So beautiful, beautiful card. Let's take a moment here to just be able to wrap this up. If this resonates with you, drop an 1111 in the chat and drop a little affirmation in the chat of how this card resonates with you. So what I mean by that is type it out or just reflect, I am ... So again, this card is basically just giving us the opportunity to be able to reflect on what is our relationship like with gratitude, how being in more of our heart space is opening ourselves up to the practice of being conscious of the gratitude that we are overlooking, the gifts that we are overlooking. So I am consciously opening my heart more to be able to invite in gratitude for the gifts that I have received and for the gifts that I am receiving. I am open to receive the many more gifts of each and every day. And in doing so, to be able to continue to live life from a gracious place. So, something like that. Card number 39. How much good can you handle? Explore the upward spiral of grace. Beautiful, beautiful card. Sifu, how'd this card resonate with you? I know for someone who is going through a lot of shifts and changes and challenges and new chapters and everything like that, I am excited for you in many ways. I'm excited, as well as I just like bless you with like the strength and the flexibility and the courage and the resilience and the vigilance that not just that you need, but to just kind of like activate that which is already there for you, because I know 100% that it is there. And I'm excited for you, I'm excited for us, I'm excited for the dreams that everybody's kind of like moving into. I'm excited for us to be able to, just have the space where we can continue to support each other on those journeys, wherever they are and wherever they lead us. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Go ahead and leave a comment. How did this resonate with you? And yeah, with that said, we'll move into the closing period of the broadcast here. Last call for anybody who would like to be able to do, I can do one more on-air reading. One more last call for an on-air reading, and that would be for single donation on Patreon. Single donation on PayPal. Sign up on the Patreon membership with a monthly subscription, which gives you access to our members only content, which includes upcoming events, the exclusive content that Lacey and I are working on, which includes the short stories inspired by real dreams, which I'm very excited about. And also discounts for the item shop at the $33 level on my Patreon. You can actually claim a light guardian crystal. If you guys want to order a light guardian crystal just on its own, you can also find that through my item shop, and the link for that is in my profile. And yeah, there's lots of other ways to be able to help support. You guys can also get single readings from me. If you want to send me a direct message on Instagram, I can set that up for you. And when you sign up on the Patreon at any of the $11 and higher, you can also get a recorded reading upon sign up as well. So last call for anybody who would like to be able to receive a reading on air. And if not, that's totally fine, because I'm sticking to my schedule of going to bed at 3 a.m. But for those of you who just tuned in a little bit late, thank you so much for tuning in regardless. Hey Queen, I see your comments here. Unfortunately, we are going to get close to wrapping this up unless we do have any last minute calls for any contributions on either single donations on PayPal or the Patreon if you want to join there. So last call if anybody wants to join on Patreon. And if you plan to join on Patreon, just let me know. Drop a 777 in the chat. Doesn't have to be right this second. If you're thinking about it, again, it's a monthly subscription, and the Patreon is a really important thing that I'm building right now, because it's like supporting the visions and the dreams that Lacey and I are aligning with, which is like moving into a new house and all of the exciting things that come with that. So for the Patreon, Hey, as I'm trying to see the Caitlin. Hey, Caitlin. Why, yes, I am Canadian. I'll stick around here for a minute, guys. I'm not totally in a rush. I do have a couple extra minutes on the clock. So again, if we do get into one more reading for a new Patreon sign up or a single PayPal donation, last call on that. Links are in my profile for those of you on TikTok and Instagram, Facebook and YouTube. It's on the info. And again, also if you guys want to become a subscriber on TikTok, that's another option. Like that's another option. Just because it's like quicker and the subscriber feature is new on TikTok. But yes. Caitlin, I can do I can do single transfer as well. If you're Canadian, okay, now I understand partly maybe why you're asking if I'm Canadian. Can you e-transfer? Yes. Us Canadians can e-transfer each other. Haha. Cheers to that. So I actually have my email in my profile link, Caitlin, if you go to that. Caitlin, let me know if you want me to either. My plan is to be in bed like ASAP. So Caitlin, if you want, I can always do like a recorded reading for you as well. So that's the one other option. But again, the Patreon, just answering Caitlin's question, and I'll just hang out here. For those of you just tuning in, we're just kind of wrapping up here. We've been doing tarot for the last like 90 minutes. The Patreon, there are multiple tiers. There's like the $5 tier, which gives you discount from the item shop, which is like the base tier. And then there's the Wizard tier, which is $11 US a month. And that gives you access to the upcoming events that Lacey and I are hosting, the primary exclusive content. And then there's a $33 level tier, which will also get you one of the Light Guardian crystals upon sign up, which is a super awesome deal. And then also from that, there are the higher tiers, which can get you one-on-one sessions with me monthly for individual tarot reading, one-on-one, or one-on-one mentoring for conscious media creation. And then on top of that, there are the higher tiers, which are actually monthly installment payment plans for my one-on-one media mentoring program, Embodying Your Monomyth, which I'm really, really excited to talk to you guys more about. And that's actually like a 3-month course program, one-on-one mentoring thing that I'm doing that takes you through the journey of the hero's journey individually, with me as your mentor, with me as like your wizard guide, and then also teaching you about video editing, storytelling, and media creation, coming from my like 20 years of experience. Caitlin, to be honest, Caitlin, I do feel like my voice is getting a little bit sore. And if you're okay with it, I think it would probably be best for me to do like a recorded reading for you. And then but you can also still choose from the decks. I have like multiple decks. So Caitlin, if you can send me a direct message on Instagram, I think just as much as I'm like, oh, like I can do readings all night, at the same time, I'm like, I do have to work tomorrow, so I don't want to overdo it. I'm known for overdoing it. I'm known, like if I don't stop now, I feel like I'll be up till fucking like 5 a.m., man. Caitlin, do you have me on Instagram already? Can you send me a direct message on Instagram? If you can send me a direct message on Instagram, just be like, yeah, I'll message you on Instagram. And then we can just like figure that out, and I'll get a recorded reading for you as well. And the recorded readings are like just as fun for me to do as well. So that's cool. Cool. Any other quick questions? Go ahead and let me know, guys. Hey, Jess, thanks for tuning in. For those of you who maybe tuned in on TikTok and on Instagram, again, this is my first broadcast back on doing our Inspirational Team Tarot and Oracle readings. Working towards our Patreon goals. We're currently at 66-ish Patrons. That number's going to fluctuate in the next couple days because it's like start of the month and payments are processing. So we have our next Patreon goal of 77 Patreon members. You'll be seeing me guys talk about bit more about that in future lives. My plan is to be able to grow the Patreon over the coming months. And again, the Patreon is a super awesome way to not only support me, but support Lacey, support Rivers, support the family, support us in serving the community as artists, and to also be able to give you guys a chance to receive some awesome stuff in return as well. So cool. Caitlin, go ahead and I'll just if you just want to let me know for sure what works for you, and I'll keep an eye open for any form of communication. If you want to just direct message on Instagram, that's totally fine. And Instagram is Spider-Man. So cool. All right. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I hope to see you guys again next time. I'll be live on here at some ungodly hour. I usually aim, currently, this is my broadcast schedule, 1:30 a.m. till 3 a.m. EST, EDT, and I'll try to stick to that to the best that I can while working a part-time job for like 8 hours a day for the next 6 days. We'll see. I don't know. I don't know what that will look like. So we'll see. But nonetheless, again, if you guys want single readings from me, we can do that. Direct message me on Instagram. But I would really encourage and love for you guys to be able to check out my Patreon. I put a lot of work into it, and there's a lot of value to it. And again, it will also give you access to the upcoming exclusive dream story that Lacey and I are working on. It's a short story inspired by real dreams and upcoming events and all sorts of cool stuff. So if you guys have any questions about the Patreon, what I do as a community, just click the link in my profile. Through there you can find our Paradigm Shift Central Discord, the Paradigm Shift Central main website, my Patreon, my item shop where you can get some light guardian crystals. Last call, does anybody want to order anything through light guardian crystals? Feel free to let me know. AJ, no. AJ, I'm like literally just ready to jump off, man. Like my voice is getting sore and I gotta go to sleep because I work tomorrow. AJ, AJ, either honestly, AJ, I feel like what may work for you and me is if we just set up a one-on-one call and do that when we can, if you're okay with it. AJ, happy birthday as well. Happy birthday, good sir. So yeah, I honestly, AJ, I'd love to even just catch up with you and do a one-on-one call. So if you want to do that, we can do it that way. And it may I'm working the next 6 days in a row, like 8-hour shifts. So I'll do it as soon as I can, but I'll let you know what that's going to look like. And hopefully, or you can catch me live here again at 1:30 a.m. possibly tomorrow, depending on how I'm feeling. Hopefully, this is my new schedule. My new schedule is 1:30 a.m. until 3 a.m. on some days. I don't know how often this will happen. We'll see. But yeah. Okay, cool. Sounds good, AJ. Let's do that. Let's set up a one-on-one call. Sounds good. Cool. All right, guys. Time for me to get to sleep. Thank you guys so much. Got a busy day ahead of me tomorrow. In the meantime, links in the info for this video for our Patreon, Discord, item shop, single donations. And if you have any questions, just go ahead and let me know. And same links are in my profile link for those of you on TikTok and Instagram. You guys have been awesome. I've been Brendan, aka Mystic Spider-Man, Skull Babylon, Wolf Shield. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for your support, and excited to be able to grow our Patreon together. Let's reach that next milestone goal of 77, and stay tuned for more updates for upcoming events and exclusive content that we got for you guys there. Cool. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful rest of your night. And yeah, as always, keep it shifty. I'll talk to you guys later. Much love. See you maybe tomorrow at 1:30 a.m. EST. We'll see. All right. Much love, everyone.